am I liable for business debts if I resign as director? Well, the answer is a director shouldn't really, in the normal scheme of things, be liable for business debts or company debts. Okay, but there can be situations when they are liable, such as if they've given a personal guarantee in respect of a creditor and that hasn't been paid and the company goes into liquidation, or if there's been misconduct by a director and the company goes, for example, into insolvent liquidation, and there've been wrongful trading and unlawful dividends, excessive drawings, missing assets, things of that sort, then there can be personal liability issues for the director in those circumstances. Now, how that interacts with resignation is that resignation essentially means that you're no longer operating the company. Okay? Leaving aside whether that means that there will be nobody operating the company in the case of a sole director company, for example, which is a whole separate issue as to whether you can resign as a sole director. A company should have at least one director as a matter of law. Leaving that aside, the issue really in relation to liability for company debts is it all depends on what happened on your watch. So if, for instance, there was misconduct whilst you're a director, whether it's directly because of your conduct or whether it's through abdication, in other words, the fact that you let another director engage in misconduct, that means that they were engaged in misconduct and you allowed it to happen because you were a director and therefore responsible at the time there as well, then basically those are matters during your stewardship as director of the company. You cannot resign from that period. You can only resign afterwards. But there are consequences as a result of resigning. If you essentially leave the company with somebody else, and if you've got a personal guarantee and the company is responsible for servicing the debts of that creditor, then that's going to potentially have an impact on you in terms of whether you're liable. Just because you resign as a director of the company doesn't mean you can resign at the same time from the personal guarantee. You may be able to negotiate it as part of your exit, but then that will mean that there will be other considerations. But a key thing as far as misconduct is concerned is whilst you may be able to resign as director, you cannot resign from your own historical misconduct. Questions, queries, concerns, give us a shout. We know Insolvency inside out.